In recent weeks, Bangladesh has been rocked by unprecedented student protests that have escalated into a national crisis. What began as a call for reform has transformed into a fierce battle between the youth of Bangladesh and the government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. With at least 6 students dead and hundreds injured, the situation is dire, and the world is watching closely. At the heart of the protests is a deeply controversial job quota system that reserves a staggering 56% of civil service jobs for various groups, including freedom fighters' families, women, and disabled individuals. While the intention behind these quotas may have been to promote social equity, many young people argue that the system is outdated and discriminatory. The student quota, which allocates 30% of jobs specifically for the children of 1971 war veterans, has become a focal point of dissent. Protesters contend that this quota system perpetuates inequality and stifles meritocracy, leaving countless qualified graduates struggling to find employment in a country with soaring youth unemployment rates. The protests erupted on April 8th at Dhaka University, where students gathered to voice their frustrations. Initially peaceful, the demonstrations quickly gained momentum, spreading to campuses across the nation. Students from diverse backgrounds united, chanting slogans demanding an end to the quota system and calling for a fair and transparent hiring process. However, what started as a peaceful movement soon turned violent. On April 10th, a tragic turning point occurred when police opened fire on protesters, resulting in the death of a student named Abrar Ahmed Chowdhury. His death ignited outrage, with thousands attending his funeral, turning it into a rallying point for the movement. Eyewitness reports describe harrowing scenes of chaos as security forces clashed with students. Protesters were met with tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition, leading to a significant number of injuries. Hospitals became overwhelmed with casualties, and the cries for justice grew louder. In response to the escalating violence, the government has employed a heavy-handed approach to quell the unrest. Paramilitary forces have been deployed to major cities, and a nationwide crackdown on protests has ensued. Schools and universities have been closed indefinitely, effectively silencing dissent among the youth. The government has also restricted internet access in various areas to prevent the spread of information and organization among protesters. This draconian measure has drawn international condemnation, with human rights organizations calling for an end to the repression. Reports of mass arrests have surfaced, with hundreds of students detained under dubious charges. Many have faced brutal treatment in custody, with allegations of torture and abuse. Journalists attempting to cover the protests have also been targeted, facing harassment and violence from security forces. The government's narrative has painted the protesters as troublemakers, accusing them of being backed by opposition parties seeking to destabilize the administration.